The billionaire's son made him poor. Noah was the kind of man nobody noticed. At 26 years old, he worked as a cleaner at City Grace Hospital, one of the most expensive private hospitals in the country. His uniform was always neat, his work was always quiet, and his presence was always invisible. The rich patients walked past him like he was part of the walls. The doctors never learned his name. But Noah didn't complain. He had a reason to keep working. His little sister, Emma, was sick. Very sick. The doctor said she needed surgery soon, or her heart would give up. Noah was saving every single coin he earned. He slept in his late father's old, unfinished workshop to save rent money. He ate once a day to save food. Money. Every night, he counted his savings and whispered to himself, "Just a little more. Just a little more, and Emma. We'll be fine." But life had other plans. One Friday night, everything changed. The hospital was calm and quiet until suddenly loud music shook the entrance. Noah was mopping the hallway when he heard shouting and laughter. He turned and saw 3 young men stumbling into the hospital. They were drunk. Very drunk. The one in the middle wore a designer jacket and an expensive watch that shined even in the dim hospital lights. His name was Ethan. Ethan was the only son of billionaire Marcus Hale, the man who owned half the city's properties, including shares in this very hospital. Ethan and his friends had just left a nightclub where they got into a violent fight. Blood was on Ethan's knuckles. His shirt was torn. But he didn't care. He laughed loudly, as if the whole world belonged to him. "Yo, where's the doctor?" Ethan shouted. "We need stitches. Fast." A nurse hurried over nervously. "Sir, please lower your voice. This is a hospital." Ethan turned and stared at her coldly. "Do you know who I am?" The nurse froze. Everyone in the city knew who Ethan was. I'm sorry, sir," she stammered. "The doctor will see you now." Ethan smirked and walked forward, but as he passed Noah, he purposely bumped into him. Noah's mop bucket tipped over, and dirty water spilled across the floor. "Watch where you're standing, cleaner," Ethan said with a cruel smile. Noah bent down immediately to clean the mess. "I'm sorry, sir." But Ethan wasn't finished. He pulled out a bottle of expensive whiskey from his jacket and poured it slowly onto the floor, right where Noah was kneeling. The liquid splashed on Noah's hands and uniform. "Oops," Ethan said, laughing. "My hand slipped. Now clean that too." His friends burst into laughter. Noah looked up slowly. His chest burned with anger, but he stayed calm. He had learned long ago that poor people cannot afford to be angry at rich people. "It's okay, sir," Noah said quietly and began wiping the floor. But then Ethan did something worse. He lifted his expensive shoe and placed it on Noah's shoulder, pushing him slightly. "Actually," Ethan said loudly, "kneel properly and clean my shoes. They got dirty because of your carelessness." The hallway went silent. Even the nurses stopped moving. Noah's hand shook. He looked at Ethan's face and saw no mercy, only cruelty. "Sir, please," Noah said softly. "I'll clean the floor, but I can't kneel to clean your shoes." Ethan's smile disappeared. His face turned cold and dangerous. "What did you just say?" Noah stood up slowly, still respectful but firm. "I'm sorry, sir. I'll do my job, but I won't kneel." For a moment, Ethan just stared at him. Then he laughed. But it wasn't a happy laugh. It was the laugh of someone planning revenge. "You just made a big mistake," Ethan whispered. He turned and walked toward the treatment room with his friends, but before entering, he glanced back at Noah one last time. His eyes were full of hate. Noah didn't know it yet, but his life was about to be destroyed. 2 hours later, the hospital exploded with chaos. Security guards rushed into the cleaning staff room and grabbed Noah by his arms. "Let go of me!" Noah shouted. "What's happening?" "You're under arrest for theft," one guard said coldly. Noah's heart dropped. "Theft? I didn't steal anything." The head of security, Mr. Collins, walked in holding a small black box. Inside was a diamond watch. Ethan's watch. "This was found in your locker," Mr. Collins said. Noah's mouth fell open. "That's impossible. I never touched that watch. Someone put it there." But no one believed him. Within minutes, the police arrived. They handcuffed Noah roughly and dragged him outside. Patients and staff watched in shock. Some whispered. Some recorded on their phones. Ethan stood near the entrance, arms folded, watching everything with a satisfied smile. As Noah was pushed into the police car, he screamed, "I'm innocent! Please! I didn't do this!" But the car door slammed shut. And just like that, Noah's life was over. At the police station, Noah was thrown into a cold, dark cell. He sat on the hard floor, his head in his hands, and cried for the first time in years. "God, why?" he whispered. "I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to save my sister." Outside the cell, officers whispered about the case. They had already been paid by Ethan's father. The case was closed before it even started. Noah was guilty in their eyes. And the worst part? The news spread fast. By morning, Noah's face was everywhere. The headline read, "Poor hospital cleaner arrested for stealing billionaire's son's diamond watch." The story went viral. Social media exploded. Influencers made videos mocking him. Some called him greedy. Some said he deserved to rot in jail. Others joked about how stupid he was to steal from a billionaire. Noah's name became a joke, a meme, a warning. People shared his mugshot with captions like, "This is what happens when you get greedy," and "Poverty makes people do crazy things." Even people in his neighborhood started avoiding him. His landlord knocked on his door furiously. "Pack your things and leave," the landlord shouted. "I don't want criminals in my building." "Please, sir," Noah begged. "I'm innocent. Just give me time." "Time?" The landlord laughed bitterly. "Your face is all over the internet. People think you're a thief. I don't care if you're innocent. Get out." Noah's belongings were thrown into the street. His clothes, his sister's pictures, everything. Neighbors stood at their windows watching, but no one helped. He was alone. Completely alone. But the worst blow came later that evening. Noah rushed to the hospital to check on Emma. But when he arrived, the nurses refused to let him see her. "Why?" Noah shouted. "She's my sister? Your account is overdue," the head nurse said coldly. "We've moved her out of the bed. She's in the waiting area now." Noah ran to the waiting area and found Emma sitting on a bench, pale and weak, struggling to breathe. "Emma!" Noah knelt beside her and held her hand. "I'm here. I'm here." She looked at him with tired eyes. "Brother, I'm scared." "Don't be scared," Noah whispered, tears streaming down his face. "I'll fix this. I promise." But he couldn't. Over the next few days, Noah tried everything. He begged doctors to treat Emma. He went to charities. He asked old friends for help. But every door was closed. No one wanted to help a thief. And then, one cold night, Emma collapsed. Noah carried her in his arms, running through the hospital corridors, screaming for help. "Please! Someone help her! She's dying!" A nurse finally came, but she was slow. Too slow. Emma's breathing became weaker. Her hand went limp in Noah's. "No, no, no!" Noah cried. "Emma, stay with me! Please!" But her eyes closed. Her chest stopped moving. She was gone. Noah screamed. A scream so painful that even the coldest hearts in that hospital felt something. But it didn't bring her back. Later that night, Ethan heard the news while sitting in his mansion, sipping champagne with friends. Someone mentioned that the cleaner's sister had died. Ethan laughed. "Good," he said. "That's what happens to thieves and their families." His friends laughed too. But somewhere deep in the universe, something shifted. Karma was watching. Noah had nothing left. No home. No family. No hope. He became homeless, sleeping under bridges and in abandoned buildings. Hunger ate at him every day. He tried to find work, but every time someone recognized his face, they chased him away. "You're that thief!" they shouted. "Get out of here!" Noah tried begging on the streets, but even that didn't work. People threw stones at him. Some recorded him and posted the videos online with cruel captions. The internet laughed again. But the cruelty didn't stop there. Ethan wasn't satisfied. He wanted to break Noah completely. So he paid a group of street boys to follow Noah, record him, and humiliate him publicly. They posted videos of Noah digging through trash for food. They posted videos of him sleeping on the street. They added mocking music and captions. The videos went viral. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. "Look at the thief now! He deserves this! Karma is real!" Noah saw himself on someone's phone one day and broke down crying in the middle of the street. He had become the most hated man in the city. A joke. A lesson. A warning. But what no one knew, not even Noah, was that his life was about to change in the most unexpected way. Years earlier, during a terrible storm Noah had been walking home when he saw a car crash. The vehicle had flipped over and was on fire. Inside, a man was trapped, barely conscious. Everyone else ran away, too scared to help. But Noah didn't hesitate. He ran toward the fire, broke the window, and pulled the man out just before the car exploded. He stayed with the stranger, keeping him warm and awake until the ambulance arrived. The man, bleeding and weak, looked at Noah and whispered, "Thank you. I will never forget you. I will find you again." Then he was taken away. Noah never saw him again. He never even knew the man's name. But that man remembered. That man survived. And over the years, he became one of the most powerful people in the country. His name was Vincent Cross, a shadowy figure who owned massive corporations, real estate, and had major shares in businesses across the city, including the hospital where Noah worked. Vincent had been searching for Noah for years. And when Noah's face went viral, Vincent finally found him. Vincent watched every video, read every article, saw every cruel comment, and he was furious. He called his team immediately. "Find out everything," Vincent said coldly. "Who destroyed this young man's life? I want names. I want evidence. And I want justice." His investigators worked fast. Within days, they uncovered everything. The false accusation, the bribery, the planted evidence, Ethan's cruelty, the sister's death. Everything. Vincent's face hardened. "Prepare the final move," he said quietly. "It's time." Meanwhile, Ethan's family was preparing for the biggest event of the year, a massive hospital expansion gala. Ministers, CEOs, international investors, and influencers were all invited. It was supposed to be a night of celebration and power. But Ethan had one more twisted plan. He wanted to humiliate Noah publicly one last time. His men found Noah on the streets, grabbed him, and forced him into a car. Noah thought he was going to be killed. Instead, they cleaned him up, gave him cheap clothes, and brought him to the gala. "What's happening?" Noah asked, terrified. "You will see," one of the men said with a cruel smile. The gala was magnificent. Cameras everywhere. Red carpets. Security guards in sharp suits. The city's most powerful people filled the room. Ethan stood on stage, microphone in hand, grinning like a king. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ethan began, "tonight we celebrate progress. But I want to remind you all of something important." He paused dramatically. "Integrity," the crowd murmured. Then Ethan's men dragged Noah onto the stage. Gasps filled the room. Cameras zoomed in. "This man," Ethan said, pointing at Noah, "is a criminal. A thief who tried to steal from me. He represents everything wrong with this society. People who want shortcuts. People who don't work hard." Noah stood there, broken and silent, tears streaming down his face. The crowd whispered. Some looked uncomfortable. Others recorded on their phones. Ethan smiled, enjoying every second. But then, the grand doors at the back of the hall opened. A powerful silence fell over the room. Everyone turned. A man walked in, tall, calm, dressed in a perfect black suit. His presence commanded respect. Ministers stood up. CEOs straightened their backs. Investors whispered his name. Vincent Cross. Vincent walked slowly through the crowd. Every step was deliberate. Every eye was on him. He walked past Ethan's father, past the investors, past the cameras, and stopped right in front of Noah. The room held its breath. Vincent looked at Noah's tear-streaked face and smiled gently. Then he did something no one expected. He lifted Noah's chin, looked him in the eyes, and said loudly, "My son!" The room exploded in confusion. What? Did he just say son? Who is this guy? Ethan's face went pale. Vincent turned to face the crowd. "This young man," Vincent said, clearly saved my life years ago. He risked everything to pull me from a burning car when everyone else ran away. He is a hero." The room went silent. Vincent continued. "And yet, he was falsely accused. Framed by a spoiled, cruel boy who couldn't handle being told no." He turned and looked directly at Ethan. "You planted evidence. You bribed police. You destroyed an innocent man's life. And because of your evil, his little sister died." Gasps filled the room. Cameras zoomed in on Ethan's face. "That's a lie!" Ethan shouted. "He's lying! Am I?" Vincent raised his hand. Immediately, the large screens around the room lit up. Security footage played. Audio recordings of Ethan bribing officers. Text messages. Laughing about Noah's suffering. Bank transfers to the guards. Everything. The evidence was undeniable. The crowd watched in horror. Ethan's father stood frozen, his face pale. Investors began standing up and walking out. "Our partnership is over," one CEO said coldly. "We want nothing to do with your family." Another investor shouted, "We're pulling all funding immediately." Contracts were torn up. Deals were canceled. Lawyers announced investigations. Within Minutes, the entire empire began crumbling. Ethan's father collapsed onto a chair, clutching his chest. "No! No!" he whispered. Police officers entered the hall. They walked straight to Ethan. "Ethan Hale," the lead officer said, "you are under arrest for false accusation, bribery, evidence tampering, and obstruction of justice." Ethan backed away. "No! You can't do this! Do you know who I am?" "We know exactly who you are," the officer said. They handcuffed him. Cameras flashed. Phones recorded. The same devices that once mocked Noah now captured Ethan's fall. "Please!" Ethan begged, looking at his father. "Dad, do something!" But his father just looked away, broken and powerless. Ethan was dragged out of the hall, screaming and crying. The mighty son of a billionaire, now just another criminal. After everything calmed down, Vincent turned to Noah. "I owe you my life," Vincent said. "And I want to give you everything. Wealth, position, a public apology to the world." But Noah shook his head gently. "I don't want revenge," he said, quietly. "I just want to honor my sister's memory." Vincent smiled. "Then let's do that." Noah walked out of the gala, quietly, ignoring the cameras and reporters chasing him. He disappeared from the public eye. Months later, something beautiful happened. A new medical foundation opened in the city. It was called Emma's Hope Foundation. It provided free surgery and treatment to poor families who couldn't afford health care. The same hospital that once threw Emma out now had to change its policies. Families who were once turned away were now welcomed. Lives were saved. And at the center of it all was Noah, quiet and humble as always, working to make sure no one else suffered like his sister did. Meanwhile, Ethan sat in prison. His fake friends abandoned him. His father lost his influence and power. The world moved on. Every night, Ethan stared at the cold prison walls and thought about Noah, about the cleaner he mocked, about the life he destroyed for fun, and regret ate him alive. One quiet Sunday morning, Noah stood at Emma's grave. He placed fresh flowers gently on the ground and whispered, "Emma, the hospital now treats poor people for free. Because of you. Because you mattered." He stayed there for a long time, letting the silence speak. And then, the final truth echoed in the wind. Some people use money to decide who deserves to suffer. But life eventually decides who deserves to fall. The story ended, not with celebration, not with revenge, but with quiet justice, and a reminder that kindness, no matter how small, is never forgotten.